Right, today I'm tying an Eagan's headstand, a very effective carp fly. One I certainly use a lot, definite confidence pattern for me. So I've got a Tiemco TMC 2457 in the vise, size 6, tying it reasonably big. You could go 8s or even 4s depending on where you're fishing, and I'm just starting some fire orange thread here. Yeah, and you can use any sort of heavy wire scud hook that you like. So I'm just going to start by tying in the bead chain eyes. These are bead chain eyes I've sprayed white and then hot orange. I just like that wee bit extra punch or colour rather than the sort of brass or silver for this pattern. So tied them. That's them tied in. I tie them quite close to the eye. I want the headlet right at the head, if you know what I mean. Some turns in there just to tighten up. And make sure your eyes are tied in solidly. You don't want them moving on you, like spinning when you're fishing it. Wee spot of super glue just to hold it, and then keep it with the eye. Just run it down all around the thread there, and even put it onto the shank. It adds a bit of durability to your fly, So this is a slight variation on the sort of original headstand. I've just tweaked it to suit the waters that I fish. So for the tail, I'm actually using just this sort of barred tan zonker. Just pulled a pinch of hair off of that for the tail. Wrong scissors. Yeah, the tail, I like it to be like the length of the shank to the bend. So, it doesn't need to be really long. Sort of like this. Now I'm going to tie it in like this, and just tie the whole tail down. Like, it'll give you a much nicer sort of taper to the body, right? Then like if you just tie it in and cut it, then you'll get this kind of ugly bump. So the next is the rib, copper wire. Again, I'm tying this down the length of the shoot, the length of the fly, and I'm keeping it on top of the shank. You could tie it in the side if you really want it, but I want to do everything I can to encourage the fly to flip. The tail helps, obviously the bead chain, and having that wee bit of extra weight on the top of the shank does no harm either. So the body, the dubbing that I'm using for the body is EP shrimp dub in brown. It's a nice dubbing, so the kind of chopped up EP fibres with a bit of just a small amount of flash in it. You can maybe see it there. It picks out really well as too, and so yeah, just dub it. Reasonably heavy body. Doesn't need to be a beast, but at the same time you're not tying like a BWO nymph or something. You're so just get it started, and you can tighten it up as you wind. you want to like use the dubbing just to, you can come back through, tighten it up again. You know, it's a bit, I don't like that. If you're not happy, just go back. You know, don't like it's no set in stone. Just go back, tighten it up a bit. That's better. Get the, yeah, it'll be fine. So you can see, you know, it's sort of like 2/3, well, I suppose abdomen, and then you're going to have sort of this space here where you'll tie. You need room to tie your hackle, tie down your rib, your rubber legs, the wing, before you dub the head. So the hackle I'm using, it's just a Chinese cock, a variant, sort of cream. It's quite a nice colour, but again, anything like it's up to you. So I'm going to strip the fibres back. I'm going to leave some of these sort of long, soft, white fibres. Yeah, I quite like that. I like the transition along the body. So just tie it in, fold the stem back, keep the thread tight and break it. There we go. Yeah, it's, if you fold it back, it can never pull out. You know, it's got to break. So just a full turn at the front, and then full turn at the front, and then just hammer it back. Open turn. Open turns. What about probably 4 or 5 for this size. When you get to the back, you can just bring your rib through. Be careful not to trap any fibres. That's fine. And again, don't worry too much. Like, if you trap a couple, it's not the end of the world. You'll be able to pick them out. Sorry, I've got the cold, so I don't sound just brilliant. So I've just came across my thread, put a bend in the wire, tied it down, and then I'm just going to bend and break the wire, so I don't get a sharp edge. It's a nice clean cut. There you go. And then just anything that's going forward, just sweep it back. Put a thread turn or two over it. Just I mean, you can pull it, snap off the hackle tip or cut it out. You actually don't need to. It doesn't really make any difference. So next I'm going to tie in my rubber legs. If I can find the colour that I would like. There we are. So yeah, these are just barred speckled crazy legs and pumpkin. It's a nice colour. It's sort of natural looking. And yeah, again, it's this like it's not a solid colour. It's mottled, speckled. It's really nice looking, nice and natural looking. So a leg on each side. I like the leg to come just beyond the back of the hook. Like, sort of, you can see they're level with the hackle tip, the hackle fibres there. So catch it in on one side, 2 or 3 turns to hold it, pull it back across to the other side, and then back. Right. Try and make sure they're on the side. You know, you don't let them swing right up to the top. So there, you can see they're sort of sitting like the top half of the shank. hold it out. I mean, you'll probably get like 4 or 5, no, about 4 flies out of one leg. So just snip them even. A wee bit long. There we go. And they'll just leave them sitting. So turn the fly over. Again, this is another sort of change I've made to the original pattern to sort of suit my fishing. It calls for, the original calls for peacock sword for the wing here, but I mean it's not a very durable fibre, and I feel that there are better options. I'm just roughing up the body here, and sort of pulling the dubbing into the hackle. But just to sort of blend it. You know, I mean, how much you do this is up to you. It'll fish without doing it, right? And it'll get like that after a few fish anyway. So, yeah, instead of peacock sword, I like to use crystal flash. Peacock crystal flash. It's a bit darker as well, but it's mainly, for me, it's mainly because it's more, it lasts longer. You know, so I've just doubled them over till I've got about 8-10 strands. Quite slightly, you know, sort of slightly uneven, and then just pinch and loop, and I fold it back, and then just sort of come in and cut it in different lengths. Make sure they're all going back that way. Just a couple of turns. Again, if you fold it, it's not going to pull out. It's fine. Right. So it's a slightly thinner wing, but it's a darker fibre, and it's a bit flashier. Again, if you want to use whatever you like for the situations you're fishing. And the last part is just to dub the head. This is just some glow bug yarn, hot orange or orange glow bug yarn that I've no, sorry, well, the colour's actually dark roll that I use, but it's orange in it. Just chopped up quite fine to make a dubbing, and then just dub it in the thread. I like to keep the fly turned over for this, because it lets you see the underside of the hook, but it's this is the side that's seen. You know, the fly fishes, or should hopefully fish hook point up. So don't worry. I mean, obviously you want to keep your thread covered and all that, so it doesn't just snap and get cut. But this is the area that you really need to keep things just nice. See, I mean, it's covered, but here's the bit that matters. There we go, and then just. That's it. A quick finish. Actually, get some super glue in the thread first. So just a wee bit of super glue on, and we've got a finisher. 1, 2, 3. Go quick because the super glue. There you go. And that's it. an Eagan's headstand. Really effective carp pattern. I thoroughly recommend having some in your box if you're fishing for carp. Yeah, change the colours to suit yourself.